What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? How you doing? Another Thursday night, another episode of a Stoked podcast. Glad to see all of you, either who are going to join or going to watch later. We have a really good guest tonight. Hopefully, this is one of those days where, our guest is a bit busy, but we're going to be a little patient so that they can come on. And it's also a day where I'm by myself. Jamari is doing something with his job, I believe, some graduation or something. So, he's out and about doing his thing. So it's just me here, and hopefully, if the guest is here, then we'll have our show. But if not, then we'll call it an early one. But I do want to tell people, of course, as always, if you want to support me, you can go to visuallystoked.com where you can get my comics, including Heat and Strong. I've got trades, graphic novels, individual issues. You can even order some T-shirts and stuff like that. I do make those. I do get those printed to order. And if you want to support the show just on just a regular level, I'm messing up over here. You can hit me up on the Cash App, and all proceeds will go towards the show. Let's see. I think how do I? Hold on. My guest is asking how to hop on, so we gonna work this out. If you give me 2 seconds, everybody. Um, okay, so yes, you can hit me up on the Cash App. Go to the website, get some cool stuff, or you can check me out at the ongoing Heat Wave 2023 tour. So for those that don't know, I've been doing quite a few Comic Cons lately. I just did Contropolis. No, yes, I did Contropolis and CradleCon in May. This month coming up, I have Brooklyn Comic Con and Heroes Con in Charlotte. And then July, I'll be doing a panel at Connecticut. Might have a table there. We're working on it. And then what else is? Oh, Terrificon is that month. I also might be doing Contropolis, New Jersey. It just depends on if I can get in the Blurred Con. I was kind of planning to do Blurred Con, but if not, I will definitely be at Contropolis, New Jersey, which is I think like the second week in July. So, and then down. That's where I'm gonna be. Our guest is on right now, so we are going to bring her in as soon as I get this stuff off, because I don't want to waste any more of her time. But I got to bring her in. So let me clear my throat. Tonight's guest is an entrepreneur whose desire to empower others through health and wellness led her to create Nabi Organics, a company that specializes in specializes in products that take care of the mind, the body, and feed the spirit. Let's give a Stoked podcast round of applause to Natasha Harris. How are you doing today? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Nope, you can't hear me. Natasha, can you hear me? You can't hear me? You got your volume on? I can see you, but I can't hear you. Let me see if I can do something here. Natasha? Oh, we lost. We lost her. I told y'all, it's every 3 or 4th episode we have technical difficulties. So she'll be back. But yes, hold on. Okay, she's having an issue with the mic. That's okay. Show rolls on. But yes, I will be at all those cons. You can stop by. You can say hi. If you have not met me before, and you're in the area, please come meet me. I love meeting new people. I don't know, a few other announcements. I am working on Heat number 3. I kind of had it on hiatus because I was doing some other things, but I am working on a few things. I I can okay myself to announce I will be doing Heat number 0. It will be an origin issue, self-contained. Oh, let's try this again. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
There
How's
we
it going?
go. How are you doing? I'm over here like, can you hear me?
Yeah, I don't know. There was something going on with the mic.
That's okay. Listen, this show is nothing if not fraught with technical difficulties. How are you doing today?
I'm doing okay. Life is happening fast and furious sometimes, but I'm here. So,
That
yeah,
it does. That it does. And it never it never cares about your planning either.
exactly.
That's good. That's good. So I heard you were like traveling, weren't you?
When recently
Yeah,
or
recently.
no? I mean, I'm
No?
always traveling like
You
from
were in
state to
like in and
state.
out of Oh, right, right, right. So are
Oh,
you
yeah, yeah, yeah. Most of it was just for fun.
okay?
But some of it was for work. But I'm always all over the place. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll get into that. Well, thank you for
Okay.
coming on. I do. We've been trying to do this for like months now,
I know.
but you're a busy person, and I'm just sitting here talking to myself. Um,
Well, I mean, part of it is that because I'm in school too,
I
so
know,
you
I know.
your show is always when I have class, and
I know.
I can't get out. So
I might. I was thinking about that because a lot of people want to be on the show, but because it's live, you know, uh, people have, they're like, oh, I can't jump on. I might start recording shows like at a different time and then
oh,
just
okay.
play them on this time just so I could accommodate people. I'm trying. I'm thinking
Yeah,
about it.
you'll probably get a lot more people.
Well, it depends on my schedule. Then it becomes my schedule thing.
Yeah, that too.
And for those that don't know me, every other week, every other day, pretty much, I'm putting my son down. Uh,
Mm.
so Kyron says this show is going to be fun. The show is always fun. Uh, but I put my son down every other day. So the days that I'm putting him down, I try not to have anything going.
Right.
But that doesn't sometimes it doesn't work out. Anywho, for those that don't know, I have known Natasha for a very very long time, uh, way back, like
Yeah.
20 years or
Yeah.
more. It's been a while. She go now. You don't? Do you still go to Hope?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, yes, she's a member of my home church's sister church. Think that's how it's sister
Yeah.
church. Yes, yes, yes. But we've known each other for a while, but we've also like tables next to each other. My comics and her products, which we'll get into. So I think that's like the first time I found out that you were like doing something like that. I want to say that is.
Probably, yeah. Because I think that was in like the early stages of like when I kind of first started with the company.
Yeah, because that was like pre-COVID.
Yeah.
I believe it was pre-COVID.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But anyway, so let's get into it. I always start the interview off the same way, but with a similar question.
Okay.
But this one I'm going to tweak a little bit. When did you know you wanted to be an entrepreneur?
I would say probably when I was 10 years old. So I technically come from a family of entrepreneurs. My
Okay.
mom used to run a family daycare, like from our house, and I've always like assisted her with that. So like from a very young age, like that's just been a norm for me. It was as I continued to get older and see like the workforce and issues and things that were happening that I was like, ugh, I don't know if I want to be a part of this. It was really when I was like, all right, let me step out and like kind of try something on my own. In addition to like another set of influences, but we can talk about that a little bit
That's all
later.
right. That's okay. All right, so you did you do anything like earlier before this? Now is it Nabi? Am I pronouncing that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
Nabi. Yep.
The before Nabi, did you have like a trial run, like another uh, uh job company that you were trying to build, other products that you were trying to sell before
Yeah, well, in high school, I used to go to BJ's and
it?
like buy snacks and sell them to like my classmates. So that
Awesome.
was like it was helpful, you
Okay.
know.
All right.
So
Yeah.
that was kind of probably like the beginning, and then after I graduated college, because I majored in sports marketing,
I didn't know that.
so yeah, so I kind of tapped into formula racing a little bit, so I was like kind of interested in that, and then yeah, I started my own
So
business,
many
but
questions. So you wait a minute. You did sport. Now, did you go to Oakwood?
no,
Okay.
UConn.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. So you were there at the same time as Jason.
Yep.
Okay. For those y'all know, Jason was on the show a while back, last year, I think. Anywho, so so you doing sports marketing?
Yeah.
Why sports marketing?
Well, initially I was interested in medicine, but I was like, I'm not sure what field of medicine. And then I got introduced to sports medicine when I was at UConn. So I did all of the work and all of the prerequisites that I needed to for that. But it was really hard to get into like your field um, with like your internships or externships. So I was like, maybe this isn't the thing for me. And I didn't want to major in something that was like totally separate from what I was already going to school for to like kind of extend my stay there. So I
Mm,
was like, let me see what fits within what I'm already doing, and sports marketing happened to be it. So that's where I went.
interesting. I actually know a couple people in sports medicine, and from the conversation I've had, they told me how hard it is just to
Yeah,
get in
yeah,
because there's so many people trying to do it because sports is a lucrative profession, uh,
exactly.
ex- not profession but lucrative
Area. Yeah.
industry.
Mhm.
But oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that about you. I had no idea. So you got your degree in it. So you
Yeah.
actually finished, like you got your degree, but
Yep.
you took a shift. Why you shifted? It seems.
Yeah.
What happened? Why did you shift?
I took like a drastic shift. So after graduating, I was working at one of the local universities, and I was like, this is boring. Like, I cannot. I was like, this is like the rest of my life. I can't. So I ended up putting my resume online, and a recruiter from South Korea contacted me and was like, hey, you want to come to Korea and work? And I was like, I don't speak the language. He's like, you don't need to. It's like there are tons of other like English speaking people that you can like meet up with. And like from the point where he was like, hey, do you want to go? To the time that I left was probably like a month. So I just packed up everything and I was like,
Jeez.
I
So,
mean, I was doing nothing else but working. I mean, my family's here, love them to death, but yeah, it was just an opportunity to travel, which is something that I did while I was in college. I studied abroad in France. I loved it there, so I was like, let's go to South Korea, and I did.
Jamar's gonna be really upset. My co-host, he's not
Uh
here
huh.
today because he did that.
Oh, okay.
He literally did that. He was there for like I want to say like 2 or 3 years.
Oh,
Like
I was there for 10, so I think I got him beat.
wow. It might have been longer though. It might have been longer. I
Okay.
might be wrong because he was like I'm thinking about staying.
Yeah.
Like so what about the experience made you like, oh, I can stay here for 10 years and maybe more?
Um, Everything was so much more advanced technologically there than it is here. Like everything. The transportation situation was very easy as long as you can, like phonetically, Korean is pretty much it's really close to like English. And pronunciation. So like as long as you learn the alphabet, you can know where to go. So once I did that in like the first 2 weeks, because I was like, I'm not gonna be stuck anywhere. I need to figure this whole thing out. And then I was traveling like all over the country, and there's so much to do there. I mean, I guess there's so much to do anywhere you go. It's just a matter of you taking advantage of it. But there was so much to do, and there was such an ease in which you could do it with. So it just made it like the place to be.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
You say advanced technologically more
Yeah.
advanced. Give me one thing that you saw or that you experienced where it was like this is like the future compared to us.
When I got there, they already had like the Ring doorbell. This was like 20 2004, 3.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, you could like see people. And then like when I came home in 2011, I was like, oh, y'all y'all got this finally.
Y'all finally caught up. Okay. All right. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. So
Uh,
you were there for 10 years.
yeah,
Wow.
not like consistently there, but like I would travel back and forth home to
Oh, okay. Okay.
visit.
So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you would come back for how long? Like how long would you come back for? What like
A
a
month or
month?
two,
Oh,
maybe. Yeah. And then they have like kind of set holidays as well. Like October is typically Chuseok, which is their like Thanksgiving. And that's like a full week or two. That there's like n- everybody's traveling,
really?
um, doing like it's kind of like a memorial to like the ancestors. So they would go like visit graves and stuff. So like the whole country, every that's what everybody is doing. So
Right.
it's like an opportune time to come home and visit.
Okay. And did you feel the culture shock when you came home? Like it was like, were you like, did you get used to living there to the point where when you came back, you're like, this
Yeah.
is different?
I think when I came home like for good and started working is when I felt the culture shock the most. Uh, there were just so many things that were like very different and the interactions, and even though I was working with people who were like me, like ethnically like me, I was like I couldn't relate to them.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
so it
Wow.
felt very different, especially like for me, I went to Korea in my early 20s and came back home in my 30s, so had like
There's a whole life.
yeah, yeah, and it's a lot of like there's a lot of growth during that time frame. So yeah, it was a shock to come back home and then start working and just being a part of like American culture again.
Now, what made you say, all right, I'm coming home? Was it,
I ended up meeting my husband. Well,
ah,
he wasn't my
okay,
husband at the time, but
that'll do it.
yeah, yeah.
That'll do it.
And then I was like, "Hey, you want to go back?"
He's like, nah. Like I'd rather not. So if he said yes, y'all would have been going.
Yeah. He was in the
Wow.
military, so like
Oh,
he
oh
got
yeah,
orders to come
yeah.
back like stateside, so
I
it
can
wasn't
understand
that.
him not wanting to go. That's a
No, he
different
loved it
experience.
there. He loved it there once he got to experience like Korean culture, not like military culture in Korea. Um, so which is like two very different sides of the coin. But yeah, he got to experience, I think, a lot of the Korea that I experienced, which, like I said, like most people who are in the military don't go outside of a lot of what the military offers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you came back home, I'm asking all these questions because I'm
Uh-huh.
leading up. I'm leading up to Nabi. Don't worry.
Okay.
Don't get there. I told you it's about your journey. This show to
Yeah, yeah.
me is to help people understand like you might see people have a brand and they're selling, but
Hmm.
there are like a million steps between the hey, let's do this, and you bought this thing from me.
Right.
Because a lot of people only see they see the destination, but they don't see the journey. So I try
Absolutely.
to give people opportunity to see this. So when you came back home, did you start trying to do the business, or were you trying to just like get a job?
No, I just got a job. I was chilling pretty much. I was like, gotta work, gotta pay bills. That's the American way. So, well, I mean, the life way. Everywhere you go, you gotta work to pay bills. But, yeah, I was pretty much like working and doing my thing. And then, like, I had gotten married. Then 2 years later, I got pregnant, and I was like, oh, okay. So, coming up to the baby shower, I I'm typically a person that gives gifts of meaning. Like I prefer it that way. That way people actually keep the thing that you give them as
Right.
opposed to like finding it
Like, do
in
you
the
have the
trash.
receipt? Do you have the receipt?
Yeah.
Gotta get that.
So and it's funny because Corinda was on your show
Hmm.
a while
Hmm.
back too, and
Yep.
she was one of the people that just kept encouraging me. But so baby showers planned. I'm like, okay, what gifts am I giving to like everybody who's a guest? And I was like, like, so there are many sides to like Nabi. Um, Growing up, we were plant based. So when it wasn't popular, that time period.
Yeah, I
Um,
know.
and the reason why we took like the but the reason why we really took like the full shift was because my mom had gotten sick. She
Oh,
has multiple sclerosis. She's had it for the past over 30 years now. Yeah. So that was like my intro to understanding health and nutrition, understanding like focusing and paying attention to your body and what's happening to it. So now back to Nabi or back to the baby shower. So I'm like, okay, well, I learned about like all these herbs and butters and candles and all this kind of healthy stuff. So let me make something for people. So I was like, I'll make some soy wax candles and some body butters. And when I gave them out at the baby shower, people were like, oh my God, these are amazing. When can we buy some from you? And I'm like, first of all, I'm pregnant. Second of all, I'm still working and I just don't have time. I'm not, but if you want me to make you something, I can make you something. Just like either give me the money to purchase the ingredients or you can purchase the ingredients and I'll just make it.
I'm
So
gonna
I did.
pause right there.
Okay.
Listen to everybody out there that's trying to be an entrepreneur. If somebody says, "When can I buy this from you?" Just be like, just make up a time. Just be like 2 months. Give me 2 months, and I got you. Don't say no. All right, never say no. But go ahead.
No, no, you should say no. Understand,
Don't say no.
put those boundaries out there too. So put those boundaries in place and let
That's why I
people
say
know.
you give them like 3 months.
Uh,
You give it like 3 months, and then
okay.
you got 3 months to get it together. Go
Yeah.
ahead. Go
So
ahead. That's all.
yeah, so uh then at work I was working with Corinda. She's like, Tosh, you really gotta like make these body butters. They smell so good, they feel good. Like you should really make a business out of it. I'm like, no, I'm not. I really don't have time because by then I had a baby and I was
Yeah.
like, coming from maternity leave, just like trying to get
Mhm.
back in the flow of work and everything. And I ended up leaving that job and going to another place. And when I was there, I was having a conversation with someone, and they were like, they used to make something, and I was telling them, oh, I make body butters and candles and stuff like that. And they were like, oh, we have a golf outing. You should put some of your products in one of the baskets that we have for like raffle. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll do that. So I did that, and the CEO of our company came to me and was like, so I heard you make skincare products. I want to buy some.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, okay. Um,
There you go.
Went home, told my husband like what happened, that experience. The next day, unbeknownst to me, he calls my brother, who's a graphic designer, and was like, your sister needs a website, a logo. Uh, I'm gonna do all of the like the business piece of like the EIN and all of that. So I'm still just living my life regular. I don't know
You ain't
that they're
even know none
having
of
these
this stuff.
conversations.
They
Yeah,
just made a whole business behind your back.
they did. And then something, I don't remember what it was, but something happened at work. And when I came home, I was telling my husband I was like frustrated about whatever that thing was. And he was like, oh, don't worry. Like you'll have a business like set up. And then he tells me like everything that he's done. And then he's like, if no, actually before that, we had a conversation. It was like, if you ever had a business, what would you name it? He's like, I'm not. So I was like thinking, I'm like, probably, something related to like butterflies. I was like, but I don't want it to be like butterflies itself because I was
Right,
like,
right.
but I was like, maybe Nabi, because in Korean, Nabi means butterfly.
Hmm.
So he was like, "Oh, okay." And then that's when, like,
You just showed up with
shortly
a
a- sh-
logo.
shortly after, my brother came with my beautiful logo, and then they told me about the business that I started in
Got
August
you an LLC and everything.
in
You look,
August of 2018.
the
Yeah,
IRS looking for you for a LLC you don't even know you got. You're like, what you talking about? I ain't no business.
yeah.
You got your
So I mean,
LLC.
yeah. So from that point, the department that I was working in ended up losing funding. So it was a nonprofit organization. And they asked me to stay on as a consultant just for like a short period. So I did that. And I was like, well, I have this business. Let me just like go full force with it. And that's kind of what I did. Fortunately, I have my dad worked at Travelers. So they had a vending opportunity. And I was able to like take all my products there, sell
Oh,
really well. And I was like, wow, that was my first vending opportunity. And I did pretty awesome. And yeah, I guess kind of the rest is history.
okay, all right. That's all right. That's okay. I always tell people I think it's always funny how like life can push you in a direction
Hmm.
even when you're not really trying to do it. Like
Yeah.
kind of like look, so I'm gonna say life. Me as a Christian and
Hmm.
you as a Christian, we think God,
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
to the non, to the people who don't believe in God, life. I just say life.
Hmm.
Can push you in a direction and you don't even know where your life is going. Like things can just be happening around you and you don't even know. Like it's a great metaphor for it right there. People are
Hmm.
working on your behalf and setting
Exactly.
you up
Yeah.
for a life that you thought about in passing. That's just that's amazing. That's
Yeah.
that's good to hear. Wow, that's really cool. He really he's built a business for you
They did.
behind
They
your
really
back.
did. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
over here thinking, is he cheating on me? No, no, no. That's just no, that was the lawyer. That was the lawyer, man. No, I'm
No,
just
it really
messing.
was like, who are you talking to? Oh, I was just talking to your brother. Like, what y'all talking about? Like,
Why are you talking to my brother? Like,
yeah.
what you
What's
got to
that
talk
about?
about? That's cool. That's really cool. So we're gonna take a real quick look at your website. I was trying to pull your images from your website, but I can't because they come out as like web
Oh,
images. But
okay.
this is nabiorganics.com. Uh, while that's going on, I'm gonna let me put the caption down here just so people can see. All right. So yeah, so tell us about some of your products.
Yeah. The majority of the products are made with these hands right here. A lot of my, I think my what I call my inspiration has essentially been helping my mom and my daughter with like issues that they've had. Like my daughter has eczema. When people see her, they're like, "Oh my God, her skin's beautiful," but it's because like I've experimented, poor child. No, I've experimented with like all of these ingredients, not in a bad way,
Mm.
but I've
No
experimented with
DCF at your
ingredients.
door. Come on now. No, don't get no. I ain't getting you in trouble. No, I'm just, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, but just being mindful of like what we're putting on our skin. That's essentially what Nabi Organics is about. I mentioned earlier, like when I was younger, my mom changed her diet, which then influenced us to change our diet. But when I was a teenager, she ended up with breast cancer,
Oh
and
no.
we were like, man, like we've change what we're putting in our bodies. We were like really mindful of that. But I was like, we're also not really mindful of what we're putting on our skin. And there's so many toxins in all of the products that we use like every day. We don't even think about it, like just regular like hand soap. So that's kind of the take that I've used with Nabi Organics. It's like it's not just what you put in your body, but it's what you put on your body. Your skin's your largest organ. And yeah, just being careful and mindful of that is so key.
Yeah, I didn't know your mom had MS. My sister had MS.
Oh,
So
I
yeah,
didn't know that.
yeah. And so
Uh,
I everything you're saying, I've seen, how it can affect people and affect families.
yeah.
Breast cancer, unfortunately, my family, we're keenly, aware of how damaging that is. But it's really
Hmm.
cool. It's funny you're talking about, the things that we put on our bodies and everything like that. My wife, who is a customer of yours,
Yeah.
who was supposed to be getting something from you, from me, but somebody was big time. She's too big time to return phone calls. I'm not really gonna say names. I'm just gonna I'm just gonna keep scrolling. But
Oh
yeah,
my gosh.
she's always looking for, stuff that's, organic and good for
Hmm.
you and healthy. She's the opposite of me. I just be like, I need deodorant. Okay, I'll take that one.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
bath, well, body wash. But she has quite a few of your products.
Hmm.
Um, what's your favorite product?
Probably like the mango body butter.
The
Um,
mango body butter. Okay.
yeah. I think so. Even though the products are scented, they're non-toxic scents. So, and then each body butter fragrance is made with like an added oil that the others don't have. Pumpkin seed oil is what's in the mango body butter, which makes it a bit smoother. Uh, you can tell the difference when somebody uses it and like how their skin feels probably after a week,
Hmm.
just by what's in it.
We
Um,
got some comments here just to let folks know that people love it. That they out here, they got to come back and tell them how much. Where did you learn how to make body butter and the bath wash and soap and all? Where did you learn all this?
a lot of it was just like watching other people make it. YouTube's a great resource. And then taking some classes as well. So I think like for anybody that's an entrepreneur, even if you're an expert like in your area, always stay learning. That's important. Just like take classes, brush up on your skills. There's some things that I've like learned along the way. One of the things that I really wanted to focus on because I started the candle line
Hmm.
during the pandemic,
Oh, really?
and I was like, before I was like, oh, soy wax candles, they're great. Everybody was making them. But I wanted to see if there was something else that I could use that was like a little bit different. And then started doing some research about beeswax. So my candles are a beeswax blend. So it's beeswax, soy wax, coconut oil, and sustainably sourced palm oil.
Hmm.
Beeswax is a natural purifier. So if you just burn like a plain beeswax candle, it can like purify whatever room you're in. Um, take like pretty much like all the toxins out. So I was like, okay, if I'm making something, like I wanted it to have like an added benefit, not just like, oh, it smells great, but that it's great for you. So that's why I kind of shifted toward making the beeswax candles.
Okay. And how do you choose the scents that you have? Is it
Um,
just scents that you like, or like how do you go about choosing that?
yeah, I wanted to stay more on like so I have most of the scents are kind of fruity. There's one that's perfumey. And then there are a couple that are like masculine because I wanted to, you know, uh make sure that I was providing it like across the board if there were men that were interested in purchasing some of the products as well. I do have a beard oil as
Oh,
well,
cool.
which is
Okay.
it's made with um one of the scents is
Okay.
aphrodisiac. So
For the
people
beard
are
oil.
always yeah, so people are
Okay.
always telling me that like
Really?
one that it smells so good and
Select side. No, I'm just that's funny. Okay, all right.
yeah. Um but yeah, so selecting the scents, I like smell a lot of different scents, and think one of the things that's probably different, I don't know what other people do, but my scents are not just the scent that you smell. Like
Okay.
I mix the fragrances together to create my own.
Oh, okay.
So like the mango smoothie, if you go to any store or whatever and you get like a mango smoothie scent, or even from the place where I purchase my products, it's not the same scent that
Ah,
is in that one bottle. It's a mixture.
okay. All right.
So,
So,
and I
oh, I'm
think
sorry. Go
like,
ahead.
oh, I was gonna say, and part of that is probably because in high school, chemistry was my favorite subject.
Ah,
So,
okay.
so I'm always like mixing things together to figure out. Sometimes I mix things and I'm like, ooh, that was not it. Um, yeah,
Okay.
but
All right.
yeah, but I kind of make my own sense.
So, how much, how much experimentation do you do like on the regular? Like,
I think initially it was a lot more than like what I do now. Because you kind of want to get like your products out there. And then like in that initial phase is like, okay, what types of scents do I want? Like, how do I want to present like the products that I have? And then once you kind of like, okay, I've keyed in on these few things, and these are selling well. It's like, okay, let that be the thing for now, and then like experiment later if
okay.
I can. Yeah.
Now, you just said your daughter has eczema, right?
Mhm.
So, when your eczema stuff, did you like, okay, let me try this, and okay, it worked, or this didn't work, or like, how'd that go down?
Yeah. So my initial like experimentation with the eczema balm was like she had eczema since she was really young, and everyone that I talked to said, "Oh, just put breast milk on it; it'll like clear it up." So I
Okay.
did, and it cleared it up like the next day. Like she was
Wow.
not itching, like anything, and I was like, "Man, I can't bottle this like
I was
forever."
gonna ask, how are you? I was just about to ask, where are you getting your? You going to get some Cambodian breast milk?
No.
What are you doing?
Yeah, so I looked at like what like the properties of breast milk and like why it was beneficial, and tried to find those in oils or butters, the same one. So I found one which is called like Elite nut butter. It's a bar or oil, not oil. It's a butter that's from Brazil. And most people think like, oh, I have eczema, like shea butter is like the thing to use, but a lot of people who have eczema are either allergic to it. I don't know if it's just because it's a nut, but so is the other one, the Elip nut butter
Hmm.
or Elip nut. And but the one that I make is not. It has no shea butter in it, and it works great for her. Any itching or anything that she has, it's like it's gone pretty quickly.
Okay. All right. So everybody, I hope you're getting you've seen the website, you've seen the body butter, and my phone is vibrating on my hip. Um, you've seen the body butter. I know I believe my wife got just the body butter. I can't remember. Um,
She's purchased a lot. She's purchased
yeah.
for other people.
Oh
Uh,
yeah. Oh yeah.
so yeah, I
Yeah.
can't tell you what scents she has.
I know. I
Probably
mean,
all of them.
well, it's not like I was trying to do that before, and somebody just didn't answer their phone, and
Oh my
it was too
god.
big time. Hey, listen, man.
No, no.
Everybody.
No, because I mean, like, yes, I have Nabi Organics, but I also work like a full-time job.
I know I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you. But I'm really proud of you. And I know you have
Thank
a
you.
limited time, and I wanted to make sure we get in here and talk about your business. And
Mm,
I didn't want to hold you too long. But I wanted to make sure we got an opportunity to talk about your business and where you go. So before we go, I want you to couple things. So a couple things.
mhm.
Where do you look at Nabi going from here? Like what's the big plan?
Yeah, my ultimate goal is to get it into like retail stores. I have it in some like local shops that focus on sustainability, but I want to get into like larger stores
Okay.
eventually.
Are you trying to get like investors or?
Not right now. And I don't know if I want to go that route. Like I recently went to an angel investor forum that so and I think this is probably good to hear. So I work for CT Next full time. That's my full time job. And what we do as an organization is help startups get the funding, get the resources, and get the talent that they need.
Okay.
So as part of that and part of my like learning in this space, I attend like various seminars, workshops, things like that. And the most recent one that I attended was an angel investment forum, and it was a a lot of companies there telling their stories about how they received angel investment and how that kind of propelled them to like where they are now, which most of them are multi-million dollar.
Not you. Shh. Shh.
Yeah, most
I
of them are.
enjoy your singing, but she's talking. You want to come say hi?
No, I'm just sad, mad, and angry.
You're sad. You're sad, mad, and angry. Why?
Because nobody wants to play my race.
I'm sorry.
Because nobody wants to do what?
Play his race. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Next time, I promise. Okay. We're about to go on vacation. Be happy. He just gave me a mean face. Sorry, I was sorry. Okay. We got a question. What's the worst thing you can ever remember mixing?
Oh. So I've tried making lotion. That's just not my thing yet.
Okay.
It's oil and water. So like, how do you mix it and make it last, and also use things that are like preservatives that are not harmful?
Okay.
So yeah, I'm still in that space with the preservatives. With the body butters, it's easy because it's all oils, and they have a long shelf life. But yeah, once you start playing with water,
And there's no like, I mean, so all right, run that back. The
yeah.
water is bad for you?
No, water's not bad for you. But when you're making lotion, if you're mixing water and oil, like how do you get it to like stay together?
Oh, okay.
So you have to
Okay.
add like
You have
preservatives
to
and all
add
these
to, yeah,
other
yeah, yeah.
things. Yeah.
And you
So
don't know of a all natural binder. Is basically you're
yeah,
talking about looking for a
yeah,
binder, right?
yeah, pretty
Okay.
much.
See, I know a little bit. I actually like chemistry. Believe it or not, I liked chemistry in high school. Not enough to do anything with it, but I liked it enough to know what I'm talking about.
Okay,
Okay,
yeah.
so you can't find you haven't found an organic a bind. Have you looked at other like maybe are there other people doing it?
There are. I haven't had time to research that too in depth. Um, and body butters are. I don't know. It's body butters for me are better.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just leave it there. Don't want to insult anybody who
No,
uses lotion.
nope. We're not going to insult nobody.
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
cool.
but I will say that when the first time my daughter ever used lotion, she was probably 5 years old because I've been making body butters and
Mhm,
someone
mhm.
gave her lotion. She was like, "What is this? Why is it so sticky?" It's like it's lotion. It's
It's
like
like, what is
what
this? What
what
is this?
normal people use.
Yeah, what
It's
other
like
people do? The
yeah,
people
not
outside this house.
not
There you
you,
go.
the
Yeah.
stiddy
Right,
5-year-old
right.
who's never touched lotion in her life.
Are you trying? Did you just call your daughter bougie? You really
Yes,
just called your daughter bougie
she
on
is.
right across the internet. She's gonna remember that
she,
forever.
she
Uh,
is.
okay. Do you ever see yourself kind of going? You know what? I want to do this full time. I don't want to do like what needs to happen for you to be like to take, as Steve Harvey says, the leap.
um, I'm not sure. I don't think I ever really want to just do this one thing. And I say that because I'm a multifaceted person. Like even right now, I'm in school studying for my doctorate in business psychology. So like what I do for work, I'd like to be a consultant
Mm-hmm.
doing that as like my full-time thing. So if I did have like Nabi Organics full time, I'd like to be just the CEO, not like directing or a founder,
Okay.
and then
You
have
want to
a
like, yeah.
hire on a CEO to like operate the business,
Okay, all
and
right.
then like make recommendations and things.
So you want to like, okay, this is built. I'm gonna go do this. Y'all keep
Yeah.
making me money.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'd
All
love
right.
to do.
I mean, I think most people. It sounds like you want to just keep making more businesses.
Yeah, probably.
What's another idea that you are that you're looking at possibly doing?
I'm really so right now I work in the workforce space, and I'm really interested in building that out, like on maybe a state or even like regional uh level.
Mm-hmm.
So connecting all the needed pieces to make that happen easier for like the state.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's really cool. I appreciate, I again, I do this show to talk to entrepreneurs because
Hmm.
I'm one, and I love talking and hearing other people's like journey.
Yeah.
B, y'all teaching me. No, seriously, like when I hear other people start like they did, okay, cool, I'm gonna take notes and maybe I'll
Hmm.
do that and incorporate it because we should all be helping each other.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
a lot of people believe that when you're an entrepreneur, you're in competition with other
Mhm.
entrepreneurs, when the truth of the matter is there's a lot of money to be made out here.
Yeah.
And you don't necessarily need to be like, I'm going to stab my friend in the back
Hmm.
to get up. Whereas, listen, I'm going to work with you and work with you and everything like that. So it's always, so I'm doing this to network, but I'm also doing this to learn, because
Yeah.
we're all trying to get to the same place for the most part.
Yeah. I want to
But
make a
go ahead.
shameless plug. So
Shameless. Shame.
yeah.
No
So
shame.
Connecticut actually has tons of resources for entrepreneurs. And that's something that like in my new role, I'm finding out. There's so much money for like internship opportunities. So if startups, small businesses are interested in hiring interns, um, I oversee a program that kind of matches you to like college students who are looking for internships and then provides two-thirds of the internship money.
Oh,
So you
really?
just have to match. It's like a slight match, but yeah. So if there are any other entrepreneurs out there that are looking to kind of grow and scale on a small level, or they just have projects that they'd like someone else to work on, maybe that's not their like skill set, then yeah, let's have a
We
conversation.
might need to talk. We definitely might need to talk. Because I'm definitely looking for some interns.
Yeah.
Um, okay. All right. So we're gonna let you go. Get back to your family, and
All right.
you got a lot going on right now, and to make sure you get time to do it. Thank
Yes.
you for coming on, and I do appreciate it. Trust me,
Hmm.
it has been a pleasure to have you on. And please, Nabi Organics, go and get it. Break. I want the website to have to shut down for a second so she can get everything going. Again, I appreciate you, and at some point, I'm going to want a gift for my wife. So I don't
Okay.
know if you're ever going to have time for little old me, but it'd be really, really nice if we could have a conversation at some point. I mean,
Yes.
I'm just
Let's do that.
at some point.
I'll make you a priority. Okay.
Maybe. It's not like I haven't known you for like 25 years or so, 30 years. But no. Seriously, thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having
Anytime
me.
you have something coming up, if you want to promote, please talk to me and we can work it out.
All right, we'll
All
do.
right.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. And thank you all for jumping on another episode of a Stoked podcast. Next week, we might not have an episode, or we might have a special episode where Jamari will be the sole host. I'm not sure yet. We're working it out. But y'all won't see me until next week. But thank you all for joining for another episode of a Stoked podcast, creative talk with creative people. Go Celtics.